Hello guys, very good morning. For next 20 weeks, we will be solving 5 coding problems every week using TypeScript and Go. This is a great opportunity for anyone looking to sharpen their skills, learn new problem solving techniques and stay consistent with coding practices. So we will be solving 5 problems over 5 days each week. And solutions we will be writing in both TypeScript and Go. Whether you are a beginner or an experienced developer, this challenge is designed to boost your knowledge and confidence in these languages. Today we will be discussing reverse a string. Let us take an example. Suppose we have a string called hello. Okay, if we reverse this, then it will be O L L E and H. Right? Now let us discuss about the approach. So this is the simplest approach that create another string and from reverse or from the end pick one letter and store there. Okay, so we start from the last character of the string and keep appending characters to a new string. So in this way we will reverse it, right? But is it the optimal approach? No. Why? Because if we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 letters, then the loop will run for 5 times. But if we have more letters, let us say hello world. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 because space is also a character, right? So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So now this loop will run 11 times. So what is the time complexity? As the loop runs for n iterations, where n is the length of string, so the time complexity is big O of n. Okay. Now each string concatenation operation takes big O of n times in the roast case because strings are immutable in TypeScript. Okay. So every concatenation creates a new string. Therefore, the overall time complexity becomes big O of n to the power 2. Okay, due to repeated concatenation. Each time, if you look at here, this O is our last character, right? So on second iteration, this L will be concatenated to O. And this concatenation again takes big O of n times, right? Now, what would be the optimal solution? For optimal approach, we will use two-pointer method. Let me choose the pen again. Yes. So we will use two-pointer method for optimal approach. And what is two-pointer method? In two-pointer method, we will take one character from the beginning and one character from the last and will swap them. Okay. So in next iteration, it will be O, E, L, L, H. Okay. Then we will swap these two letters. So it will be O, L, L, E, H. these two letters are swapped. Okay, so now only 3 iterations to reverse a 5-letter string. So it is our optimal approach, right? And if we calculate time complexity and space complexity, in the previous one, in brute force approach, if we calculate the space complexity, we are storing the reverse string in a new variable. So the space complexity is big O of n, where n is the length of input string. Now let us come to this optimal approach. Here we perform the swap operation n by 2 times, where n is the length of string, right? So the time complexity is big O of n for this optimal approach. Okay, and the space complexity is also big O of 1 because the extra space used is for converting the string into an array of characters and then back to a string. Okay, because as we know, the JavaScript strings are immutable. Okay, we are considering 2 languages, Go and TypeScript, and in both the languages the string is immutable. So we have to convert it into an array. Okay, then we will swap the elements of that array, then again we will join that. Okay, so this extra space which is used to convert from string to array and then back to string, it takes big O of n. So space complexity is also big O of n. Now let us solve it using TypeScript first, then we will solve using golang. To solve this problem, I am using online TypeScript and online golang compilers. Okay, let me write it from the beginning. Okay, so I created a function reverse string brute force. The name should be relevant, right? Or any name we can give. It can be X, Y, or any name, but always try to provide a relevant name. It will take a string as a parameter and will return us a string. Okay. Now let us say the reverse string equal an empty string at the beginning. Then we will perform the calculation and will return the reverse string. Okay. Now here we will perform the calculation. So in brute force approach, we will iterate through each characters, right? So let us run a loop. Let I equal input dot length. Okay, so we will calculate the length of this input string -1, and we will continue till I is greater than equal 0 and I minus minus. Okay, so let us take an example of hello, HELLO, 5 letters, right? So its length is 5, but its index starts from 0 and will end at 4, right? So that's why we took here input dot length -1. So input dot length is 5 and 5 minus 1 is 4. From 4th index to 0 index. Okay, because we are trying to pick the last character so that we can reverse it, right? Now reversed equal reversed plus input of I. Okay, we will pick this ith index letter and add to our reverse string. Instead of writing this in shorthand form, we can write plus equal input of I. Okay, now let us console log it to check whether it is working fine or not. So if our input is hello, then it should give the output OLLEH. If our input is hello world, then it should output DLROW space OLLEH, right? If we pass an empty string, then our output should be an empty string, right? Let us run this program. So OLLEH, then DLROW, OLLEH, and here empty. So it is working fine, right? Now let us write our optimal approach using two pointer method. So let me create another function here. Reverse optimal. Okay, this is our optimal approach. And same, this function will also receive input string as parameter and will provide us string output. Okay, the reverse of string it will provide us, right? And let us write in that same way. Let reverse equal empty, then we will perform the calculation and return reversed value. Okay, here we will perform the calculation. First we will convert our string to array. As we know that string is immutable in JavaScript or TypeScript, so you cannot mutate it directly. So that's why we converted to an array. Left equal 0 definitely, right, our first index, but the right index will be array dot length -1, right? Array dot length -1 and input dot length -1 both are same in this case. Okay, the length of array and length of the string both will return same. Now while left is less than right, up to that point we will run our loop. Got it? If left is equal right or if left is greater than right, then no need to run the loop. We will stop there because we have iterated through all the characters. Okay. Now here we will swap the characters. At the left and right. Okay. So here array of left index comma array of right index equal array of right index comma array of left index. Okay, and if we are swapping in this way, then we are saving our space. Otherwise the general approach is store the right element in a temp variable, then assign left to right and then temp to left, right? But in this case, we have to create another temp variable. So we are consuming another space. But to make it space optimized, we can do it in this way to swap directly. Okay. Now we will increase our left pointer and as well as right pointer, right? So to increase left pointer, we will add 1 to it, but right pointer we have to decrease, right? So right pointer equal right pointer minus 1. Got it? And I used shorthand operators here, plus plus and minus minus, to increase by 1 and to decrease by 1. Now here we will return this array, right? Because we have already converted our original string to an array. So this reversed will be equal to array dot join. Okay. So now it should return us the proper result. Let us take these 3 conditions only. Okay, I will comment these 3 and update it with reverse optimal, this new function. Reverse optimal, reverse optimal, and reverse optimal, right? And let us run it. Okay, it is working fine. And now this is the optimal approach, right? First one is brute force and second one is optimal. First one consumes big O of n to the power 2 time complexity and big O of n space complexity, and in optimal approach our time complexity is big O of n and space complexity is big O of n. Okay. Now let us solve it using Go programming language. So first, brute force approach. Same, we will run an array with in length of the input minus 1 to 0. Okay, we have already discussed in TypeScript, so I am not explaining it again. Now let us write our optimal approach. In optimal approach, we will follow the 2 pointer method, right? So function, let us name it in the same way, reverse optimal. Okay. We will accept an input of type string and the output will also be of type string, right? And here we will return our okay, this will be little bit different as compared to our TypeScript. So here we will use rune instead of array. Okay, so runes equal array of rune, and we will pass our input. So it will convert string to rune slice, right? Now left and right equal, left is 0 and right is length of runes minus 1. Okay. Now let us run the loop. For left is less than right. Okay, the same condition. whatever we wrote in TypeScript. Okay, runes of left comma runes of right equal runes of right comma runes of left. We will swap it, right? Then after swapping, left plus plus to increase left and right minus minus. Okay, so left pointer we will increase and right pointer we will decrease. Now what we will return? We will return string format of runes. Okay, so to convert from string to runes, we are using rune of that input string, and again to convert from runes to string, we will use string of runes. Okay, now here let me use the same inputs, but this time using reverse optimal. Okay, so reverse optimal of hello, reverse optimal of empty string, and reverse optimal of hello world, and reverse optimal of madam. Okay, here output is okay. Here for empty string the output should be empty, and for hello world our output should be this one. We have already calculated here, right? So this should be our output for, sorry, not for that one, for this one hello world. Okay, and for madam it will be same madam. Okay, now let us run this. Undefined runes. Okay, let us see here. Are these two same runes? In line number 19, runes of left comma runes of right. Okay, RUNES. So yes, it's my bad. Now let us run it again. Okay, now it is working fine, right? So this is our brute force approach in Golang, and this is our optimal approach. Okay, so that's it for today. Let's meet tomorrow again with a new problem and its solution both in TypeScript and Golang.